So you want to repair or refurbish that item for your childhood, or you have an interest in a particular item, and like new versions are too expensive and the only ones you can afford are the broken or damaged ones? Well, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to avoid the pitfalls that most beginners make when they're trying to restore an item so you can have a success versus a failure. Tip number 1. Research all you can about the item. Become as much of an expert about the thing you're about to restore as you can. This will not only be fun, but it can help you just get started. Also, acquire as much printed material as you can. This includes brochures, videos, downloads, user's guide, anything that has little nuggets of information. This will help you midway through the restoration if you get stuck on a project. Tip 2. Budgeting. Oh, sure, you've probably thought about the purchase price, but what about the parts and supplies that go along with completing a project like this? Think about all the parts you may need. Some of the ones are going to be readily apparent, some may not be so apparent. So I begin searching now and make a tally or a spreadsheet of all these costs so you know potentially what you may spend restoring this project. This is especially important in mechanical projects such as cars and motorcycles. Things like gaskets, internal engine parts, fasteners and things you may not be easily inspected upon purchase, so be ready for those hidden costs. Tip 3. Parts availability. This goes hand in hand with the research step of the process. A large part of keeping a project on track is making sure you can source all the parts and materials you're going to need. This is one of the biggest pitfalls that beginners have, only second to money and budgeting. They find out a certain part is almost impossible to find or purchase, and this is what can turn a fun project into a pile collecting dust, or worse, abandonment of the project. Tip 4. Skill assessment. Now, I'm all about people learning new things and trying to learn new skills, but be honest with yourself and know your limits. It's important. Don't try to take on too large of a project. If you're a beginner, start small. Make a graph or a timeline and visualize all the steps involved. If you can put most of the steps from start to finish on a graph, chances are you're going to be successful. Tip 5. Space. Now this is going to be very project dependent. Do you have space for the project? Keep in mind that typical restoration projects are going to be needed to be kept out of the weather. They also need space where you can work on them comfortably and work around them. Comfortable workspace will help with motivation in the want to work and finish the project. If a project is boxed in by stuff and other junk, it may be hard to get up the motivation to want to go work on it. Have a quiet space to work in. I know, life gets in the way. Sometimes you need that escape, but if it's not in a place where you can be away from all that, you're not going to want to work on the project. Also, wives and significant others generally don't like your project strung all over the kitchen table. And there you have it, 5 quick tips to help you get your restoration off the ground. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Also, go check out my website for more in-depth tutorials, pictures to get the most out of your restoration. Also, check out my sponsors. They help me buy equipment to make better videos for you. And thanks for watching. Okay. Now let's try that one more time.